All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is November 11th, Tuesday. This is episode 1003 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next hour, me, you, and this entire community of amazing Team SC members are going to be shredding the top cyber news stories of the day. If you are looking to stay current on the top cyber news, get that information both from a threat intelligence perspective so you can configure or adjust whatever your security controls are, your organization, or those organizations you're responsible for protecting. Or if you're looking to break into the industry, you need to know these things. Like, get used to it because it's the standard practice. You must stay current on what's going on to be effective. That's what we do every single day at 8 a.m. Eastern time here at Daily Cyber Threat Brief. I'm your host, Jerry. We're off and running. We got a great show for you. Let's cook. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Here in the low country, it is cold, cold, cold. I know down in Miami, it's unusually cold. They might even have to put long sleeves on the t-shirts down there. Hopes and prayers for our friends down in Miami. Guys, wherever you are right now, I hope you're doing great. We got a great show for you. We are going to go through those top 8 news stories of the day. I have 20 years of experience in the industry, and as always, my deal is to go beyond the headlines and deliver exceptional value to you. That's my proposition. I will give you insights. Team SC above me, tons of practitioners, a collective 7,800 hours of years of experience in chat. And basically, things that you won't learn in a classroom, things you won't learn in a textbook, things that you'd only learn by sitting in the chair itself. We're going to give you a shortcut. We're going to give you that easy button so you can learn those lessons and not make those mistakes. Standing on the shoulders of giants, it's sometimes referred to, but we do it every single day, putting in the work consistently. Now, every single day of the week is a little different with special segments, and Tuesday is Tidbits Tuesday, where I share a little bit about me. I promise you, and this isn't some type of retention, greasy retention technique. Stay tuned for Tidbits Tuesday at the mid-roll, so 30 minutes from now. I had to ask Mrs. Auger if she was okay with me sharing this one. Something happened last night. I think it's funny as heck. So stay tuned. I'm definitely excited to share that with you. And, the whole point of Tidbits Tuesday isn't just to share something personal for me, but to see if we vibe on it, to see if you yourself have had an experience similar and share it with the community. Every single episode is worth half a CPE. So say what's up, Poner Joe, AdTech, Triple D, Anita Sailors, Dennis Keefe of the OSIN faction. Say what's up. Take a screenshot. File it away once a year. The screenshot is just if you get audited. It's evidence to support your claim that you were here. That's it. You can get up to 120 CPEs a year. Thank you, Kayla Sturgeon, for crunching the numbers for us. It's very easy. You can also not get the CPEs. You're not compelled to get the CPEs. It's just another value that I like to bring to this community, constantly trying to deliver value. Also, oh boy, stay tuned to Jawjacking. Eric Taylor's going to come on, answer all your questions. I have major updates for Simply CyberCon 2026. Oh my God, what? Yes, major updates. So if I have time at the end of the show, I will share them. If not, I guess you'll have to come back tomorrow. But when I say major updates, I'm talking location, date, format. Oh my, yes. The tanks have been filled as far as me getting excited about Simply CyberCon 2026. But enough about that. We've got work to do. Before we get into it, I want to say if today's your first episode, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat. We have a special sound effect, a special emote for those members of our community. Every single one of them was a first timer at some point. Mara Levy, Marcus Kyler, Sierra Montgomery, Medine G. At some point, everyone was a first timer. Heck, episode 1, I was a first timer. So let us know in chat. We're a great community and we're welcoming you to it, especially if you're like a long timer, you've never chatted. CFPs are not open yet, Elliot Mattice. Give me a hot minute. All right, guys, before we get into it, let me say shout out and love to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this show to you every single day in the format and structure that I choose. Look at me. I'm the captain now. I can go big screen Jerry if I want. I don't have someone telling me I can't do that. I can go small screen Jerry if I want. There's no rules here. Start with anti-siphon training. Anti-siphon training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, including Phil Stafford, Elliot Matisse, the entire San Francisco sound machine up there. But, dudes, if you go to antisyphontraining.com and check out their calendar events, this is my favorite part. You could see here, today is November 11th, and wouldn't you know it, Jason Blanchard himself, Banjo Crashland, sometimes called Brandon by accident by me. He is hosting a workshop today, Job Hunt Like a Hacker. Listen, if you are sick of your job, toxic work environment, you don't like your boss, you feel like you're not given room for growth, perhaps you've been laid off recently, perhaps you're just trying to get in, whatever it is, this workshop is $0 to $25 if you'd like to contribute. 6 hours worth your time. Jason has helped hundreds of people get jobs. Definitely check it out. I'm going to drop a link in the chat below. Here it is. Boink. Giddy up on that. Thank you, Anti-Siphon, for the support, and thank you, Jason, for your community service. All right, guys. Also want to talk about Flare. Flare Academy is bringing workshops that are absolutely free. You'll notice a trend here. Free, right? Do the free stuff first. And we're partnering with all the free people. Welcome to Flare Academy, where monthly they deliver these amazing industry experts to come share their knowledge and experience with you. And on November 24th, if you want to bone up on your Active Directory and Azure Active Directory, which is basically, Azure and AD, Active Directory in the cloud, they call it Entra ID now. Dude, what threats are there to your identity? If you've heard the term zero trust architecture, that's because there are no perimeters anymore. The identity is what needs to be protected. So when we're talking about threats and protections, we're talking about of the identity, one of those key, resources in 2025 that you have to understand what to do. This is an amazing opportunity. 2 hours of free training on something that every CISO is sweating. I'm telling you right now, this is definitely worth it. Go to simplycyber.io/flare. I've made a redirect for you to make it super easy. There it is. I dropped it in chat. Whoops. I dropped it in chat. Go simplycyber.io/flare. As I say always, guys, here's a tip. Go register, put it on your calendar, and then if something comes up, skip it. If something doesn't come up, how convenient that November 11th version of you thought forward and set you up for success to have some action, have some training, have some leveling up on November 24th. What you don't want, listen, in my world, I don't know about you, but if it doesn't get put on my calendar, it does not happen. So if it gets put on my calendar, I still have the opportunity to decline. I'm not in for any amount of money, right? So I'm just saying, this is how I roll. As always, we got ThreatLocker for a hot minute. Big fan of ThreatLocker. We had our Sean Washington, Simply Cyber community member yesterday. Got him set up with his prize. ThreatLocker, great partner of the channel. Let's hear from them, and then we're going to slide into the news like the electric boogaloo. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, everybody. You know what time it is. We have parties. We do all the fun stuff, but we do have work to do. But it doesn't have to suck. Work can be fun when you do it with friends, and when you do it in a cool way. We still got to get the work done. So do me a favor. Roswell, UK, Raynard Waits, cool ass Chuck. Sit back. Oh, hold on. I got to fix the date. Fixing date. Hold on. Computer, fix the date. Thank you, computer. All right. Sit back. Relax. And let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us all in an awesome wave. I will see you at the mid-roll for Tidbits Tuesday. Let's go.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. I'm Rich Straffolino. CISA reauthorized. One of the impacts of the prolonged U.S. government shutdown was the expiration of the 2015 Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act, or CISA, at the end of September. One provision in a deal to reopen the government, advancing through the Senate as of this recording, would reauthorize the law. However, this is only a temporary stay of execution, as the reauthorization would only go through January 30th, 2026. The House Homeland Security Committee approved legislation in September that would extend CISA for another decade. Two members of the Senate Homeland Security Committee introduced a similar bill, but a vote on it was blocked by Committee Chair Rand Paul during the shutdown.
All right, couple things. One, when I don't research or prep for these shows, okay? Just so everybody knows, I don't research or prep.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So you're just getting my raw, initial reactions, thoughts. When I saw this story, because I do have to I do have to pull these up, right? I thought it was the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, the agency under the Department of Homeland Security, that is kind of like, America's threat intel, SOC kind of thing. This is not that. The CISA in this instance is the Information Sharing Act. And this is where telemetry and, information is shared from the public sector down to the private sector and private sector up to the public sector. Honestly, guys, the fact that this is such a political weapon here. Like, the fact that this would ever go away is ridiculous. Like, we as practitioners and we as a U.S., United States federal government need to share information and intelligence, because that's how we get ahead of the things, right? Like, if you've ever, the strength in numbers, right? If everybody's running around doing their own thing, not sharing information, you're going to get picked off like lone wolves out in the wilderness, right? But if you tribe up, if you band together, that's a deprecated Magic the Gathering keyword. If you band together and share information, then you can protect the herd, right? Effectively, right? So someone attacks Roswell, UK. He's responding, but he's also like, everybody, this is what happened. Now we can all bolster our defenses. So it's ridiculous to me that this would go away, right? Now, I do think that, unfortunately, in the United States, if you've been paying attention, our government has been shut down. There's been a bit of a game of chicken, like it's a 1950s greaser movie, and it's two guys driving at each other in their big old Studebakers between the Democrats and the Republicans. Obviously, not obviously, but I've heard that in the last couple of days, there's been some concessions made and things are starting to grind forward to get things reopened for the U.S. government. The good news is this is all politics, and the fact that this is going to continue to happen means that just maintain the course, do the things that you've been doing. I do want to tell you one thing, and this is one of those ones where, to me, this is going beyond the headlines and giving the value to people, especially younger people, not necessarily junior in your career, but younger in age. I do teach at the Citadel Military College. I have 18 and 19-year-old students who have never worked in, basically they haven't really lived in real life, I'm saying that flippantly, right? I'm sure there's been some that have had more difficult upbringings, but for the most part, they've never had corporate jobs. They've never had debt. They've never had to worry about, certain things. And this is for you. So when they talk about this, this is only being reauthorized to January 30th, you might be like, oh my God, 60 days, whatever will we do? Oh, Mr. Beauregard, the vapors, I cannot stand it. Like, it's not that serious. They're going to reauthorize it again. Like, this is just a kind of a hot potato. If they were to renew this thing for 10 years, it would just get funded and then it wouldn't be a political instrument anymore, right? So these short deadlines, these things, it makes it so you can maintain cash flow and also continue, so yeah. So Zmif says, is there another place besides real life? Yeah. I mean, when you are, come on, man, you of all people should know what I'm talking about. So whatever. Hopefully you guys know, I'm happy to, elaborate further, but I can tell you, I constantly bring up examples in my course when I'm teaching, and then it resonates with me that, like, these students don't know, like, they've never received a identity compromise. Here is some identity protection for a year, emails or letters. They haven't, many of them don't have credit cards or understand that, you know what I mean? So come on, Zmif. All right, let's cook.
Denmark and Norway investigating electric bus kill switches. Earlier this month, the Norwegian bus operator Ruter investigated the connected capabilities of two bus models, one from the Dutch manufacturer VDL and the other from the Chinese firm Yutong.
Not to be confused
It
with
found
BDE.
that because of the way Yutong buses receive over-the-air updates, the company has direct digital access to each individual bus. The company said it put in stricter controls for new vehicle purchases and will collaborate with local authorities on clear cybersecurity requirements going forward. Danish public transport provider Movia also said it's investigating its Yutong buses for any issues. However, COO Jeppe Gerd clarified that this isn't a Chinese bus concern, but rather something to account for with any connected vehicle. Yutong said that all of its vehicle data in the region is stored in an EU-based AWS data center, protected by storage encryption and access control measures. European Commission looking to...
All right, hold on. This is pretty good stuff. So electric vehicles, even regular gas-powered vehicles, this has been an area of research and interest for, I'd say, probably a decade. Charlie Miller it's too bad Charlie Miller gets all the credit. But there was two researchers, Jeep Cherokee. What year was this? 2015. So nailed it. Guys, I got to tell you personally, I get like so like borderline play the saxophone whenever I try to remember a really specific detail, like a specific NIST control or a specific year of an incident or an activity in the past. So when I just nailed that, it's a good day. I guess 46 that my brain hasn't addled away yet. So anyways, in 2015, this kind of blew it up on the scene where Charlie Miller was able to take over a Jeep Cherokee and cause it to drive fast, cause it to brake, cause it to steer off the road. They did a great job with it from a marketing perspective. He did present this at Black Hat and DEF CON, and it unlocked a lot of concerns and a lot of focus on automotive cybersecurity. And he basically goes through the infotainment system. Now, what war games, Matthew Broderick,
shall we play a game?
Drink Space Tacos. What war games did for information security as an industry, this piece of research did for automotive research. So if you didn't know, at this point, there is there's a DEF CON village called, basically car hacking village every year at DEF CON. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. And with these electric vehicles, they're just it doesn't matter if it's electric or gas. They're putting so much more tech in these things that you have to imagine that, there's a bigger attack surface, and with attack surface comes threat actors who are probing and prodding and everything. So what can we do here? Well, if you can, let's see, the buses can receive updates over the air, which can cause them to be stopped. Hold on. Okay. Cause them to be stopped. All right. So more of an availability issue than anything else, that you're not going to have, basically the risk here, is just to have the bus stop. You're not going to get this right here. Okay. This is from the movie Speed, Drink. You're not going to get this situation where it's like boom, boom, boom. Someone put on the house bass for the bus here. Such a ridiculous scene. Such a good movie. Keanu Reeves, Speed, before The Matrix, Sandra Bullock, before Sandra Bullock. All right. So it's an availability issue. I will say this is reasonably easy, not easy, but reasonably manageable to secure. All you gotta do is patch it. You gotta patch it. What you have to do is, I don't know, I authenticate users before you accept commands. So if the bus gets a command that says shut down or update firmware with this package, perhaps you should verify the identity sending that request first. That's it. That's it. I'm sorry, but we're solving big problems here. This is why zero trust architecture is a thing. This bus can get an update from anywhere. So verify and authenticate the identity. Like, okay. So yeah. But hey, again, don't think that all the security research has been done. Don't think that all the things that you're capable of discovering has been done, because it's all low-hanging fruit. Punch imposter syndrome in the face, first of all. And second of all, new things are rolling out all the time. This is an entire fleet of buses for a region, and they've got a wicked gross security loophole. So there's always opportunities. Hack all the things if you want to, but do it responsibly and ethically. We're not here pushing any type of agenda.
We do it ethically. This is a message from Flaming Donkey.
Flaming Donkey, of course, is Simply Cyber's APT that we use for things.
Simplify privacy laws for AI. Draft documents obtained by Politico showed that as part of a digital omnibus package meant to simplify tech laws, the European Commission will make considerable changes to the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR. The draft creates exemptions to allow AI companies to process protected categories of data for training and operating models. The changes would also redefine what constitutes personal data, allowing for anonymized data to not be covered by GDPR. The draft also adds provisions to allow site and app owners more legal grounds to justify user tracking. The EC will officially unveil the draft proposal on November 19th.
All
UK
right.
cyber...
Oh, boy.
Straight cash, homie.
Sure. So this is one of the ones, again, Elliot Matthijs, this would be great for your show. Okay, so European Union, GDPR, the front runner in the clubhouse as far as privacy regulation. AI is vacuuming up all the data and doing all the things with it. And Brussels and Denmark are pushing an omnibus, which is basically not an omnibus, not to be confused with this Chinese bus, LOL, an omnibus, which is basically just a big old package of legislation, with the idea of the marketing of it is to simplify digital, online living, but parts of it include an erosion of privacy, GDPR carve-outs, and basically, yeah, if you can anonymize data, then it doesn't fall under GDPR. Of course, this is very favorable for corporate entities because they're going to get more data. They're going to be able to do more training. They're going to be able to do more of the things. Now, again, I feel like you can fall on two sides of this. You could fall on two sides of this story. One, you can be like, this is great. We're trying to encourage innovation while also protecting citizens. The second one you could say, and where I think I'm feeling myself, just off the cuff here, leaning towards is, I've seen numerous instances of anonymized data where they're able to attribute it to people. So, You know what I mean? Like if you get enough enriched data and you get enough information, you know what I mean? Like you can do these things. Plus, when you're looking at general population, like I know, and I'll put myself in this, so I'm not targeting any one person, but like, you know, like, oh, I'm a special snowflake, right? Maybe you feel that like, you know, you're unique or whatever, but like realistically, I'm a mid-40s white male living in the United States who's a nerd, right? So like, you know, I like Magic. I like, you know, mid-90s hip hop. I don't like Nas. I don't like sour cream. You know, I enjoy, you know, eating, grilling, right? I like watching football on Sundays. Like I'm not special. I'm like a category of person. And when you do general population, this is why targeted advertising, this is why when you turn on Netflix, it's like, hey, here's a suggestion. And you're like, that's right on brand. I like that. I do want to watch Altered Carbon. Or when you open Amazon, it's like, hey, would you like to buy another piece of video equipment? Right? So that's what this information's for. Data is the new gold. Welcome to 2025. And this piece of legislation, to me, looks like a technique to get access to this rich trove of data so AI can be trained up on it while navigating the legal, you know, minefield of GDPR. Jose Alfredo, we got a job. I don't know what it is. Let me see if I can scan it. I don't like to spend a ton of time back scanning because I know you guys don't want to watch me do that. But Jose Alfredo, where are you? I wish people would like at me because it stands out a bit more. Jose Alfredo, hold on. Damn it. Oh, Jose Alfredo, Team SC, I just got a job in IT starting November 17th. My man. I came in like a rainbow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One of my favorite things, guys. Listen, we work hard, we play hard, we celebrate as a community, and I love the opportunity. Thank you, all of you who have ever brought in your big news to the show so we could celebrate it together. It's awesome for you. It's inspiring for others. Oh, it's so good. All right, let's keep cooking.
Insurance claims triple. According to a new report from the Association of British Insurers, or ABI, UK insurers paid out over £197 million for cyber insurance claims in 2024, up from £60 million in 2023. Ransomware-related claims accounted for 51% of that total, up from 32% in 2023. ABI also reported that the number of cyber insurance policies in the UK increased 17% on the year in 2024. And now, thanks to Days Up.
All right, hold on one second. Couple things here. Number one, let's see, UK cyber attacks, you know, since 2020. This isn't going to surprise anyone, okay? Like, check this out. The United Kingdom recently initiated the GCHQ, which I believe is like kind of like a CISA NSA type capability up in the UK. And they are experiencing significantly increasing cyber attacks. Remember the retail sector earlier this year, Co-op and Marks and Spencer, Roswell, UK, always flipping out when I'm saying it wrong. Clop ransomware attacked the oh my God. A bunch of entities during the Move It a couple years ago. WannaCry took out the NHS. Jesus, Scattered Spider and Lapsus have an uptick in citizens in the UK, like, 17 to 22-year-old citizens in the UK that are a very aggressive ransomware threat actor group. So the UK is getting like basically bum rushed. We saw that guy from Staffordshire try to attack and extort somebody in the UK. So this should come as no surprise. This is what's up, dude. This is not cyber insurance policies increasing. This is claims. This is claims, which means there's a lot more, nearly 300x more cyber attacks that are getting recognized in industry in the UK. So a couple things. One, If you part of the GRC Mafia, which I am, we started the GRC Mafia here on the channel a few years ago to make GRC even cooler than it already was. Cyber insurance is definitely in your wheelhouse. Now, I will tell you, many people find cyber insurance incredibly boring. Well, guess what? You just don't understand it yet. That's what I got to tell you. Cyber insurance is cool. It is so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
There's first-party claims, third-party claims. There's, kickers. There's when to execute. There's incident response, third-party teams that get dropped in. Oh, it is hot, hot, hot. What this means to you, probably not much in the United States. UK has been getting put through the ringer here. But if you work in the UK, like Roswell UK and a couple others in the community, you can expect, unfortunately, cyber insurance policies to increase in premiums, right? Remember, insurance companies don't print money. They collect money and then they pay out on claims and they try to manage like a profit. So with claims tripling, you better believe your premiums are going to go up. And by the way, these insurance companies are going to be looking at what the root cause was of these claimed incidents and then increasing their level of scrutiny around those controls, right? So if you say you have multi-factor authentication in all your places, and they're like, okay, since you have multi-factor authentication, we will issue you a policy. And then you get popped. And it's because you didn't have multi-factor authentication on your Citrix gateway. You had multi-factor authentication on M365 only. Guess what? When you go to the insurance company and say, please, sir, can I have some more? Can I have some money? They're going to be like, no, get back in line. You didn't have MFA, liar. And then the insurance company is going to be like, counting all their money because you didn't do the thing you said you did. That's what's going to happen. Third-party questionnaires, get ready for it. Third-party risk, get ready for it. This sucks. But I will say this is great because obviously the GRC Mafia has been doing their job getting insurance policies in place for organizations. Final thing I'll say on this is, if you work at a business where they think that getting the insurance policy is like the option instead of building an information security program, you have some short-sighted, poorly, I guess your leadership's not great. Cyber insurance is not an alternative to an information security program. It is a complement to an information security program. Do not make that mistake. I've seen a lot of executives who are like, oh no, this is great. I don't have to do anything except cut a check. Yes, sir. That doesn't work. All right, let's keep going. We got the mid-roll here. Oh my God. Freaking. So the Stream Deck stopped working again. So now I just jumped ahead in the story. So give me
in 2024.
Here we go.
And now, thanks to today's episode sponsor, Vanta. What's your 2 a.m. security worry? Is it, do I have the right controls in place? Or are my vendors secure?
Sorry, I got to clear my throat.
Or the really scary one, how do I get out from under these old tools and manual processes? Enter Vanta. Vanta automates manual work so you can stop sweating over spreadsheets, chasing
Sponsor
audit
of
evidence,
CISO
and
series,
filling out endless questionnaires.
Simply Cyber.
Their trust management platform continuously monitors your systems, centralizes your data, and simplifies your security at scale. Vanta also fits right into your workflows, using AI to streamline evidence collection, flag risks, and keep your program audit ready all the time. With Vanta, you get everything you need to move faster, scale confidently, and get back to sleep. Get started at vanta.com/headlines.
Yeah. So just to reiterate, the show, Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief, has sponsors, as you can see down the bottom: Barricade, Anti-Siphon, Threat Locker, Delete Me, Flare. And we do those. The Vanta one is for CISO series, the ones who are doing the audio podcast. Also, TechGrunt with the raw base. Was it? Yeah, it's no. Is it? Who is it? Let me clear my throat. It's not Rob Bass. DJ Cool. Let me clear my throat. Dude, if you don't know that, if you're young and don't know that, oh boy, giddy up on that. Also drink. I I'd play it right now, but I might as well play Simple Minds because it's going to blow out the copyright. Check it out. God, this music's no good for mid-roll. This is fine. This one's called Warm Chocolate. All right, guys. Hey, welcome to the mid-roll. Thank you for being here. I didn't see any first-timers in chat. But if you're here for the first time or you're watching on replay or you're listening on your audio podcast app of choice, welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party. And you know what? For all you long-timers, I feel like you might get not your ounce of love. So all you long-timers, old-timers, OGs, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party, pal. All right, guys. I do want to say thank you to the stream sponsors, our stream sponsors. Threat Locker, Anti-Siphon, Flare Academy, and Barricade Cyber Solutions. Guys, did you know Eric Taylor and the team at Barricade Cyber are running a bi-weekly webinar series called Fortify 365. Go to webinars.fortify365.com today to register. The next one is Wednesday, November 19th. So 8 days from now, or 9 days according to this, at 1 p.m. Eastern time. You can register. It's free $99. Go sign up, put it on your calendar. You can skip it if you have a conflict, but it's great to have it there. And basically what they're doing is this is session 7, where they're going to be talking about SharePoint and OneDrive and properly configuring access to it. Guys, OneDrive, everybody in your organization gets a OneDrive, and they can put all sorts of data there. People can access that data. They can take the data. It's definitely a risk or it's exposure, and you have to manage it. So Eric Taylor's going to just get right into, like, basically pop the hood and get in there with the wrenches and show you how to set the configuration to stricter guest access policies, show you how to configure expiration on guest access so it doesn't have to be any longer than it needs to. He's going to show you how to create alert policies to detect and alert you when someone's accessing things that they shouldn't be. So go to webinars.barricadecyber.com today and check it out. Thank you, Barricade Cyber. Now, Phil Stafford is saying we got first timers in chat. The mods are not here. I don't see any mods in chat, so I don't know what's going on there. But Praising Harris, I think Praising Harris is a first timer. It says yo first timer. So I don't know if he's saying yo to the first timers or if he's identifying as a first timer. So hashtag first timer in chat if you want. But Praising Harris, let's go ahead and assume you're a first timer. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal. All right, guys. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Tuesdays is Tidbits Tuesday. Now, I teased this earlier in the show that you would not want to miss this one. All right, guys. I want to share something with you. So, just to get a little personal, I'm married, right? I share a bed with my wife. Like, that's how we sleep. And I typically sleep with my hand on like her hip or her leg. I like touching my wife, right? So we're sleeping last night. This has never happened before. My hand is right above her knee, right? So like my fingers are kind of like behind her knee, like right above on her like lower thigh. And my thumb is like kind of down on her kneecap-ish, right? And I'm sleeping or whatever. And I'm having this wildly vivid dream that I am wrestling Bo Jackson. Now, if you don't know who Bo Jackson was, he was a two-sport pro athlete, baseball, football. He suffered a horrible hip injury that sidelined his career. But for a minute, he was like basically like amazing, right? And I don't know why Bo Jackson was in my mind. I don't know. But like I'm like wrestling Bo Jackson, and I wrestled competitively. Justin Gold did as well. I wrestled competitively, and like one of my typical approaches would be to lock up. And I would grab the person right above their arm, right above their arm, and squeeze the out of it so I could wrench them around, and I would grab behind their head. And now I have control of your body, and I would, throw you or do whatever I want to do. So for whatever reason, I'm like squaring up against Bo Jackson. By the way, it was Bo Jackson from the poster where he had the football pads on and the baseball bat, famous photo. Anyways, that's it, right? And he's got the shoulder pads on, so it's kind of hard to get around his neck. But I've got his arm, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I go to throw him. And Nadine is like, ah. And I wake up and I realized I'm basically squeezing the crap out of her leg, like to the point where like it kind of hurt her and woke her up. And I'm like, ah! And I'm like, so anyways, shout out to Mrs. Auger for being a good sport there. I apologize profusely. I did not mean to do that. Also, shout out to Bo Jackson for sparring with me a bit. And yeah, so anyways, that was that. I did go back to bed, and that was it. So there was no throwing of my wife. Just, I don't know if you guys have ever, like, I've never really moved in my dreams. I've twitched. I've twitched as I'm falling asleep, but I've never like moved like I'm in the dream. So anyways, that was the first time for me. So anyways, thank you. This is Tidbits Tuesday. So it was a draw, Elliot Matthijs, because I woke up, and when I went back to bed, I did not. All right, so that's it. Let's keep cooking here. Let's keep cooking. Oh, I forgot to maintain this thing today. My bad. All right, let's keep going.
Dozens of victims named in Oracle EBS campaign. The Clop ransomware group named 29 organizations impacted by its recent campaign. This targeted Oracle's e-business suite, likely with a 0-day impacting its publisher integration component, which was exploited for 2 months before being patched. Some of the named entities, like the Washington Post, Envoy Air, Harvard.
We got a couple first-timers here. Love it. The Sionis Gaming, first time catching live. And then Platonic Cello, hashtag first timer catching this live for the first time at the gym. Thank you for your service. Get those gains in Platonic Cello, and welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
And Wits University already confirmed a breach. But most of the named victims haven't confirmed an attack, including Logitech, Cox Enterprises, and Schneider Electric. Clop also released data from 18 of these organizations allegedly obtained in the attack. An initial investigation by Security Week found they likely originated from an Oracle environment.
Yeah.
I guess we need to worry about rapport-building phishing now.
All right, so the Oracle EBS continues to present problems. Remember, Oracle, Enterprise Business Suite, or e-business suite, had a major vulnerability a couple weeks ago. It was all in the news. It was very straightforward what you needed to do. You gotta patch it. And you had to patch it. Now, I want to tell you this. Clop Ransomware, who is a very effective ransomware threat actor group, but borderline procedural, right? Or like surgical. They don't hit a lot of organizations, but when they do, they go big. I feel like they really do plan out their attacks. They were the famous ones around the Progress Move It software attack that resulted in lots and lots of compromised entities. So many compromised entities, in fact, that Clop Ransomware deleted and made it very clear that they deleted some of their collected data of more sensitive groups because they didn't want it, like i.e. Department of Energy, right? That's very, very sensitive information, and Clop Ransomware did not want to bring the thunder down on them, so they actually made it a point to delete that data. So, this doesn't surprise me that they're getting after it. Now, I do want to tell you this, okay? Like, if you're running Oracle eBusiness Suite, you've got to patch it. Period. Full stop. Secondly, you may be a victim through supply chain because somebody in your supply chain is using Oracle eBusiness Suite and did not do their business. Finally, and this is probably the most important thing as an example. When I tell you, okay, that you have to stay current on the cyber news daily, when I tell you that threat intelligence is important, when I tell you that you have to make this part of your workflow, whether you like it or not, in order to be an effective cybersecurity professional, this is what I'm talking about, okay? This story has been front page news in our industry. I don't see this on 60 Minutes or Dateline or ABC News or Channel 5 News here in the Low Country, okay? No one's talking about this. But in our industry, in our circles, this has been a news story for weeks. Now, If you're just bumping along, doing the minimum, hitting the easy button, feeling chill because you got your cyber job and now you can, put it on cruise control, you're not catching this information. And then when you get punched in the throat because you've been running Oracle e-business suite with your hospital gown wide open in the back, this is what I'm talking about. It's not an option, okay? And this is a classic example of why. So put the work in. And by the way, if you're looking to break in the industry, this is training you for what you're going to have to do when you're in the industry. Spoiler alert, when you get in, all the hard work you put in to get the job is just prepped you for the job. The job's hard. Working in cyber is not simple or easy. It's a lot of work. That's why you got to love it. I'm firmly in the camp that cybersecurity and working in cybersecurity is a lifestyle because of those reasons. Okay, let's keep cooking.
Now, researchers at Velexity studied a campaign linked to the China-aligned APT UTA 0388 operating from June through August 2025. This used tailored messages to each victim coming from impersonated senior researchers and trying to get them to download GoverShell malware archive files.
Take care, Marcus
Velexity
Kyler.
noted this campaign marked a change in tactics for the group, using extended conversations to build rapport with victims before delivering a payload. The researchers also found signs that the threat group used large language models to both draft these highly tailored messages and develop malware, saying this campaign consistently lacked coherence in a way that's more suggestive of context-unaware automation. Russian national pleads guilty.
All right, so let's see what we got here. China is basically using AI in their phishing campaigns. Okay, like News at 11, like 2023 called, they want their hot take back. I guess the interesting novel element here is that essentially they can use AI to write these custom profiles and these custom scenarios. So instead of just trying to one-shot a victim through a spear phish, they can, it's less burdensome to them now to be able to establish rapport by having multiple emails back and forth and doing that. I will say multiple emails back and forth, extended conversations does present additional opportunity for the threat actor to basically make a mistake or say something they shouldn't or dox themselves. So that is one thing in our, going for us. I'm trying to see here. I saw something about indicators include fabricated institutions, unrealistic personas, linguistic inconsistencies. I mean, these honestly, pre-AI, these are still indicators, right? If you don't recognize the person, if they're talking about something you don't know, if they have bad grammar, that's always been an indicator of potential phishing. Why a phishing email would have English, Mandarin, and German in a single message is hilarious. I don't know, man. This seems like they're taking one step forward with AI and like 5 steps back by allowing it to just automate their emails. You know what this reminds me of? This is like, there's some people out there who are using AI and fully automated social media posts. So like the human is not in the loop. And it's just like junk AI slop messages and stuff like that. This is kind of similar to that. I would imagine that these threat actors could dial this in pretty quickly, right? Like it's obvious when an email has 3 different languages in it that it's not performing well. Unfortunately, it's a numbers game, right? They can send an email to 10,000 people and it doesn't cost extra money. So I assume they'll get this sorted out. All I would suggest is continue with your awareness training, continue educating people on phishing emails. This is less about AI and AI taking your job and AI tooling and all that. This is more about more sophisticated, more targeted phishing stuff, right? And honestly, this is where privacy and OPSEC is even more valuable, right? If you're very open about all the things, that data can be ingested by threat actors into an AI to write more tailored phishing emails.
To helping Yanlo Wong attacks. Alexei Volkov pleaded guilty to charges related to working as an initial access broker for the ransomware crew. These stem from the Yanluowang attacks planned from July 2021 through November 2022. I looked it up. We covered them on the show. This indictment offers insight into the economics of this type of work. Volkov charged $1,000 for access to business networks with pilfered credentials and received shares of ransom payments from 16 to 20%. Volkov was ordered to pay $9.1 million in restitution to 6 of the 7 named victims. One victim restored successfully from backups, and he awaits further sentencing. EU radio stations.
Yep. All right. So, this should make bigger news, honestly, but unfortunately, it probably won't. This guy right here, 25 years old, right? So he doesn't need 20 years of experience to be successful. He was an initial access broker, right? So the cyber criminal ecosystem is getting specialized skill sets, right? Just like you can have a handyman come fix your toilet and hang air filters and build a little deck, right? But what would be better is having a plumber fix your toilet and an electrician hook up your fan and a carpenter build your deck, right? It's just specialized services. And as things have evolved, as things have gotten more mature in the cyber criminal ecosystem, so has those skills. So initial access broker, that's all they do. They get creds to popped environments and then they sell them, which, by the way, pretty good business, right? Because I can sell creds to Pocket Pixie, Eric Taylor, Kishin Infosec, Alicia Grimm. It has, it scales well, right? It's not like I sell you creds and then they're burned. And this dude's charging $1,000 a network. I feel like that's a pretty good rate, right? He doesn't even have to necessarily commit any type of cybercrime. He's just giving you the access. You go in and do what you want. And he was getting a nice little piece of the ransomware action, 20% on a $500,000 ransom payment. He will be going to jail, obviously.
Regulators, mount up.
So, F around and find out. Like I said, unfortunately, guys, cyber criminal threat actors right now are like weeds. You pull up one and like 2 more sprout out where they were. We're treating the symptoms right now, still not the root cause, but I hate to say it is what it is, but like, until we have better solutions, until there's more devastating penalties or impacts for threat actors, until this is going to be more of the same. It's very lucrative, it's very accessible, coupled with the fact that like global economies are kind of jammed up right now, so there's a lot of people who are graduating with skills and not really sure how to get a job. There's people who are have skills that are not necessarily, or I should say there's people with skills that are younger, that are disenfranchised with society. So this isn't going to go away, unfortunately.
Getting hacked. Last week, 2 European radio stations had operations disrupted due to seemingly unrelated cyber attacks. The Dutch broadcaster RTC Noord discovered its computer systems were inaccessible on November 6th, with a morning show resorting to playing music on CDs and LPs to the delight of hipsters everywhere.
Yeah.
While some operations were resumed days after the attack, the RTV newsroom could only be reached via WhatsApp, indicating comm systems were still down. This attack came on the same day that the Resida ransomware gang claimed responsibility for an attack on Kiss FM, a Spanish radio station, and demanded a $300,000 ransom.
Wow.
Calling all Boston.
I feel like Owen Wilson. Wow. I might have to add that sound effect to the soundboard. Wow. Couple things here. One, get ready to pour yourself something to drink, because the movie Hackers, right? Oh my God. The classic movie Hackers, Johnny Lee Miller hacking into the TV station. And then he gets into like basically a hardcore fight with Angelina Jolie back and forth, where they're controlling what's on the TV. Yeah, dude, this scene's awesome, right? Again, check it out. Moving the arms around, controlling the TV. This is what hacker culture was in the 90s, right? It was like for the lulls and stuff like that. So anyways, fast forward to 2025. Of course, the threat actors are doing this, but they're wanting to get paid.
Straight cash, homie.
Right? I'm probably going to add Teddy KGB, pay this man his money sound effect to the soundboard as well. It says seemingly unrelated attacks. I don't know, man. These threat actors, once they kind of like figure out either a vulnerable piece of software that's common to an industry, they get after it, right? Think about when the car dealerships last year all got screwed over because of that supply chain solution that's like tech for selling cars. Think about, the retail companies in the UK getting popped, and they all kind of had a shared common app stack. I would imagine that these radio stations, there's probably some type of like, common solution to run programming or whatever, especially since like they're all in Europe. Is what it is. I will say, get your fedora out and wax up your ironic mustache for the people who got to listen to LPs play during the downtime here. Guys, I don't think about it much, but radio stations, TV stations, they sell advertising. That's how they pay their bills. And if they're down and they can't run advertising, they're not going to be able to generate revenue. So for this is like low key, kind of like a manufacturing attack, in that you're causing them immediately to feel pain from not being able to generate revenue. Now, if they're playing CDs and LPs, I would imagine that they can hop on a hot mic and be like, "What's up? It's Throwback Tuesday here at KISS FM. We're listening to LPs. This one is a little ditty called, I don't know. The ones I want to say are not appropriate in any way for kids. Oh my God, none of them. Like all the 80s songs from the hair bands like Warren and Motley Crue, Poison, all the songs were like very suggestively vile. It's a throwback to yesteryear as we listen to Ministry's New World Order coming to you live from KISS FM. Shout out to Barricade Cyber, right? You could work an ad in there, right? All right. By the way, Ministry, if you haven't heard that song before, it's really, really, I'm going to just do it really quickly. New World Order. All right. Hold on 1 second. This is, I don't know. I'm just doing it. Okay. Cause that's going to be it for the news stories really quick. Listen to this song. Okay. I'll leave it as a homework assignment for y'all to listen to that, because the very beginning has like this unbelievable buildup. But you know what we are doing here? We are getting ready to end the show and start the next show. Holla! Guys, I want to say thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you. All the regulars, all the first timers, everybody who's here, everybody watching on replay. Thank you. I hope you get value from the show. It is a pleasure to serve this community, and I take it as a personal challenge every day to deliver value to you guys. So if I did, awesome. And if I didn't, I will double my efforts tomorrow. Don't go anywhere, because Eric Taylor will be running a 30-minute AMA Jawjacking. And then immediately following that, we've got Philip Wiley talking Simply Offensive. We're looking at OT and ICS pen testing with Mike Holcomb. Guys, Mike Holcomb, we've talked about on the show many times, an amazing cybersecurity professional and contributor to kind of like the Simply Cyber core values and vibes. So this is going to be a great talk. You don't want to miss it. But let's get you jawjacking. I got to go teach the students. Be well, everyone. And until next time, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to Jawjacking. This is your first time here. My name is Eric Taylor. I'm with Barricade Cyber. Before we get started on the day, I was thinking, I know there's, of course, people here that have been around for a long, long time, you know, the regulars here. But I do see, I've noticed over the past couple weeks, we see a lot of new people in here. So welcome. I am curious though, can you put in the chat how many years you've been in IT or cyber? So like 0 years, like you're just starting out dash IT or 0 dash cyber or whatever it may be, right? I'm really curious what kind of audience we have these days, right? So put it in there. Let me know. I'm sure Jerry may be interested. I'm curious as well, because a lot of times I start off with a couple of stories or whatever, and I feel like I may be talking down to people. Like it's like one of those moments. Turn around and you're preaching to the choir. I'm like, okay, I get it. So yeah, let me know. Like, if you're going to do 0, again, put dash in there and tell me, are you trying to get into IT or cyber? Again, just want to see what the audience is. So 30 years IT, 3 in cyber. Very cool, Nelson. We got Roswell, 30 years in IT, 0 in cyber. Alicia Grimm, IT with 2 years. Negative 3 years, you're going backwards. 4 years in network and security, 28 for me. Technically 0, I guess. Okay, 5 years of networking, over 6. Okay. Yeah, definitely keep them coming in. I'm going to go back after the show. I'm going to ask this for a couple of weeks, because I know not everybody attends the show all the time. So I'm just trying to gauge like who the audience is. Okay. And again, if you're new, the way Jawjacking works is you just put a Q: in there and let me then ask your questions. So that way when I do, Control F in the browser, I'm able to find your question. Woo! 5 in IT, just started my first cyber job. Congratulations. IT machine and software, 18 not in cyber. Okay. 10 years in IT for 3, 0 for cyber. Two years, what's bug bounty considered? That's a good question. I mean, it's pen testing. I think bug bounty would go into the purple teaming, because not only are you pen testing, doing red team, but most of the time you are working with the vendor doing POCs and verification. Is more of an in-depth than just a typical bug bounty or a pen test report. There's a little bit of collaboration going back and forth. So maybe that goes into purple teaming. So a little bit of red and a little bit of blue. To me anyway, that's what. Okay. Not even in this industry. I watch because I love the community. It's good to know. Not really sure what that means. Okay. 0, try to get into cyber at some point. I'm definitely seeing some people still looking to break in. Okay. Training at this point, volunteer being considered. Okay. All right. Yep. All right. So we will go back and I will look at those. And again, you're going to hear that question from me a couple of times, because I know people are not here all the time. So I am very curious of the demographic. Let me pull up my CTI feed. This one is literally hot off the presses, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're new, I'm going to post this link and it's going to be as Jerry because I am backstage and I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to make sure I'm not going to share my audio because I haven't taken the time to do this. But again, I haven't looked at it just like on the main show. We're kind of looking at this thing together, okay? So hackers exploit critical flaw in Gandiant's TriloFox file sharing product. What is this? Has anybody seen this before? This is not like Move It or anything. What is this? Trilo Secure File Sharing and Remote Data Solutions. Okay, so this is just like Move It or an SFTP or something of that nature. Okay. How Unk 464 exploited this. Who are these guys? I can't remember off the top of my head. Who is? Oh, it just comes back. So these are apparent. So it's an unknown or unnamed cyber criminal, pretty much. Let me blow this up for everybody so y'all can see it. Vulnerability discovered by Mandiant on November 10th. So this is yesterday. Is a critical improper access flaw affected prior to 611. Okay. When exploited, it allows attackers to gain access to initial setup pages even after setup is complete, enabling the upload and execution of binary payloads. Oh, goodness, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. Holy moly. Mandiant detected the malicious campaign while responding to a security incident and assessed it started back on August 14th. Wow. This goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, Mandiant, who, if you don't know, they are one of the top, if not the top, digital forensics and incident response firms out there. They got procured by Google 2 years ago, maybe 3 now. And they do a lot of stuff internally. It's really hard to get Mandiant to respond to the SMB market and things of that nature, right? And they are just now learning about this thing several months later, right? So, investigation revealed allowing access to configuration pages. You can run the setup process to create a new native admin account. Yep, we've seen that with other ones. Cluster admin. And use this account to conduct sequential activities. Root. Okay. Yeah. Uh-oh. Somebody called Dr. Gerald Auger. Make sure you got defibrillator and hose them down. We got an infographic here. So admin database APIX account initial. Okay. Yes, sir. All right. So if you are in the industry, definitely start looking for Gladiant's TriloFox file sharing inside of your ecosystem and or your client's ecosystem. What's not cyber related? Luke Canfield. Why are you singing? Yes, they are owned by Google. See if we have any other. We do have one question. You ever thought about monetizing your threat intel feed as a subscription model? No, I haven't. To To be quite honest with you, Roswell, UK, I got enough fires on my plate right now. I'm just over here looking. A lot of Chromium stuff. Nothing really, really important to bring up. You guys are pretty quiet today. Is everybody kind of juiced up for kind of coming down off a sugar high from Halloween? Let me check one of my other feeds. Try to figure out something to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, this came out, yes. Let me just check CISA series, see if y'all talked about this already. Are you using your AirPods for the input audio? No, I'm actually got a DJI mic right here, and that is plugged into the camera. So I got one extra one here. Let me find the box. Yep. So I have two of these. So you got the receiver and you got two microphones here. And on there, if I can do it without blur myself, if I can show it. Yeah, it's got two microphone exports on there. So I just pipe it right into my Sony camera. I recently passed my CYCA Plus. Congratulations. And I'm looking to lock in a SOC role as my goal is to work with the digital forensics. Do you have any recommendations when it comes to skill sets to really iron out? I would probably take a look at dfirreports.com and look at their website and some of the stuff that they've been putting out for previous reports, just to get familiarity with what is potentially malicious, not malicious, things of that nature, and just getting a good handle on that stuff. Just looking here. UK cyber insurance claims triple. Yep. Dozens of victims. Yep. Okay, so this one was not talked about. Let me just make sure I get all the questions answered real quick. So we'll talk about another story. Your thoughts on the OSCP cert worth it? My personal opinion, no. But again, when it comes to things of hacking, I say go talk to Tyler. Like I said, I was considering the OSCP when I'm at my CEH, but nobody ever asked me to prove out how to CEH. Nobody. So I was like, I'm just going to go do this to do it. There's no benefit to it. Why do it? It's like me going for a Cisco cert now. It'd only be self-fulfilling at that moment. Right? So, from the Rich, any insight on how a lot of eSIM companies are routing data through China, even though it's not fully disclosed? I have some, but I'm not able to talk about it. Those are unfortunately items in my ecosystem that are TLTP red. I wish I could talk about it publicly, but I can't. That's a great camera. Thank you. Does really, really good, especially if I can actually get it to stream in 4K, which a lot of platforms are not able to. What are your thoughts on recall feature in Microsoft? I think we need to all burn it into a fiery hell, to be completely honest with you. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that it's screenshotting everything you're doing. The threat actors are going to go right for that. As soon as they pop on a box, the first thing they're going to exfil is that Windows recall if it's available. It's a foregone conclusion. Is it better to focus on a skill then? Oh, and happy birthday, Double Dog. Hoorah. So yeah, those who don't know, today is Veterans Day. Yesterday was a Marine Corps birthday, 250 years. Yes, I personally think focusing on a skill is better. Right? I mean, you're looking, to me anyway, in my opinion, I'm just one person. So take it as a consideration factor. Don't take this as gospel, right? I mean, I don't even have it up here right now. That's odd. Anyway, don't take this as gospel. This is just one person's opinion. But yes, if you're looking to stand out in the industry in a stack of resumes and AI filling out job applications and all that, specializing in a micro area is going to make you stand out. I mean, think about it. Like when you're a doctor, right? How are you going to stand out? Through specialization. So yes, I am cyber, but I specialized in this. So people who are looking for that and I mean, you're going to eat, breathe, sleep, poop, everything about that topic. Like you're going to become the most knowledgeable person on the face of the earth about that topic. It's going to take time, and you don't have to be perfect and know everything about it to get the job in that specialization. But you will become the go-to person for everything. So this is going back to the Windows recall. Yeah, I mean, just disable it. You can make sure it's not running. Question from Alex. As we head into the end of the year, what are the threats you are keeping an eye on and warning your clients about? Literally this, what I just mentioned ago. I mean, you're going to see, mark my words, mark tape, with this government shutdown, and hopefully the government coming back up. I haven't looked at my news feed. It's just been cyber feed. Unfortunately, I got 4 different feeds. But if the government hasn't been lifted out of shutdown as of last night, I think it's going to be today. And I guarantee you, in the weeks to come, we're going to hear news about threat actors being inside of government networks. Guarantee you. The one thing people don't understand in this industry is this is a crime of opportunity 99% of the time. The file sharing, crime of opportunity. Someone didn't go through and do what they needed to do. They left the opportunity available to do it, and somebody found it. .9% of all threats are a crime of opportunity. And that goes back to the age-old saying, blue teamers need to be right 100% of the time. The threat actors, the pen testers, just need to get right once, unfortunately. It's a steep hill to climb, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very steep hill to climb. So, due diligence, just because we are in the holidays and we are looking for the pumpkin pies and the cranberry sauces and the turkeys and the Christmas presents and your Hanukkah presents or whatever religion you freaking celebrate. I don't take that the wrong way. I didn't mean it negative. But whatever religion and holiday you're celebrating, don't let your pending trips and travel plans and just all that stuff keep your eye off the prize and keeping things secure. Right now, you need to be a little bit more diligent in these things. Question, did Greenbone move off of supporting ESXi environments for the Community Edition? I haven't looked at a Greenbone instance in I don't know how long, to be honest with you. That's a genius question. You're interesting about us. Huh? Are you talking about the music I'm playing? It's just stuff in Restream. It's literally an AI thing. So like I can do, this is called hip hop. Let's see. Put everybody to sleep and do corporate. Is that playing? It's not playing yet. That one's called corporate, just to mix it up a little bit. So it's not really a band, it's just AI syndicated generated music. All right, going through here. We have 8 minutes left. I think I've got all of... Yep, I do have all of them. Let me just check mod check, because I did open up Discord. Doesn't look like anything there. So let's talk about this other one. And I'll drop this in chat as well. You'll probably hear about this in another day or so from part of CISA series. So initial access broker, aka IAB, pleaded guilty to ransomware attacks. And Russian national will plead guilty to acting as initial access broker for, I haven't even heard of these guys. Yolanga ransomware attacks targeting at least 8 U.S. companies between, dude, that's a long time ago. According to the plea deal signed by the defendant on October 29th, first spotted by Court Watch, blah, 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 who, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Cabord.court. Okay, this is starting to piece together. FBI investigators obtained search warrants. Yeah. To the Apple ID. Yep. He'll be required to pay over $9.1 million in restitution to the victims. Yeah, they're never going to see that a day in their life. Stole non-sensitive files from Cisco employee box folder in May 2022, but it failed to encrypt its system to collect ransom. So data exfiltration. So we've been seeing a lot more in the past 2 or 3 months of threat actors and IABs being arrested. So I do think that's putting a little bit of fear in some people. thoughts on AI agents. I hate them. And it's not because I'm just like, old man getting off the, get off my lawn. It is a little bit of that, but like I went through a massive thing this weekend. I'm trying to leverage AI in a more meaningful way, but I'm still doing testing and verification, and something I'm determining when using cloud AI platforms, even paying for premium services, it's hard to get them to do what you want to do. Case in point, trying to revitalize some, this is going to get a little business stuff, but, trying to remember what we did with Google Ads a couple years ago that was very profitable. And, certain keywords, things of that nature. And I didn't want to dive through literally 180,000 lines of code from Google Ads change management export. So I'm like, you know what? This would be a good thing for an AI agent to do. Nothing sensitive. I mean, it's just Google Ads. So I dumped it into ChatGPT. I'm like, I need this information. Like, I need to know, when certain keywords were added, removed, certain campaigns enabled, disabled, very, very simple stuff. Like I just needed a report. Like on this date, this was all added, and just whatever. So that way I can correlate and go back and look at the engagements that we assigned and see what the correlations are. I tell you what, it looked like it was working in the back end, but it just generated a bunch of fake data. And then it told me, because it gave me a CSV export, and on the left column, it just said keyword 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, what's this keyword 1, 2, 3, 4? Why has it not got the real keyword? Oh, we used fake data. You spent over a day correlating fake data? When it literally told me, is it okay for me to store this information locally so I can process it? I'm like, yeah, there's nothing sensitive, right? You can literally log into 100 different websites and figure out what Barricade or any other company is running for Google Ads, right? I mean, there's no intellectual property there by any means. So I really do think if you're going to use AI in a meaningful manner, you're going to need to look at setting up a local LLM. All right, so we are coming up at the top. Little teaser for those who are still here. We are going to be off because, Jerry does have a lot of stuff and we don't get to all the questions. We are going to be standing up a website soon. So it's literally going to be you ask, we answer. So you can ask about anything about business or DFIR, things of that nature. And we're going to create a different series on our YouTube channel. I'm not going to say the name yet because the domain doesn't work. We bought it. We just me and Kimberly are going to be getting together later and trying to figure out all the ins, outs, and the workflows and all that stuff. But stay tuned. Don't worry. If you're asking questions, we're not getting them answered. No worries. Just write them down. Grab a notebook. I like my new notebooks. You've got Barricade on there. I love it. Anyway, but write them down in a notebook. And then okay, when he talks about that new site, and I've been trying to get this question answered, just drop over there and drop the question in there. So again, we're going to be working on that workflow. But anyway, it's been a while. I don't have time for it. Okay, so no sea shanty today, but hopefully my calendar. I will probably not be around on Friday. I think I am traveling, so I will probably not be around for that. But definitely go check us out on YouTube. Follow up with us. The Fortify stuff has been releasing on the YouTube channel. So literally, I'll close this out. So if you literally come up here and in your browser just type YouTube. Don't get ahead of me. Don't get ahead of me. YouTube.barricadecyber.com. It will literally take you to our page. So that way you can be able to find us easily. And then when you come over here, be quiet. When you come over here to playlist, we got the Brutally Honest coming up with the Fortify 365. Kimberly's been getting the editing done, wrapped up on that. Those have been getting uploaded. So definitely follow us over there. And I will see y'all next week. Until then, stay curious, my friends.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.